What's up, guys? Welcome to Let It Be Heard, where we are doers of the word, not hearers only. I'm your host, Jaden Heard, and today we're going to be talking about Kamala Harris. And I have a question for you guys. What's your favorite Kamala Harris nickname? I haven't been really a big fan of the Trump ones. I mean, I think they're a little, what I'm saying. I think Matt Walsh, if you check out Matt Walsh's Twitter, they're really good. But, I like the Kamala chameleon, you know what I'm saying? That's what I like the most, So anyway, that's what we're gonna be talking about today. She's just a political shapeshifter, y'all. She is like a chameleon in this sense, where she changes color. Whatever makes her look the best. You know what I'm saying? Whatever protects her image the most. And so we're gonna be talking about that. We're also gonna be talking about her VP pick, her supposed moderate, takes that she has, or she's trying to appear moderate. And we're also going to talk about how she's literally hiding from the media. And not only this, but the media is letting her get away with it. It's so crazy. But anyway, we're going to get into it. Stay tuned. So you guys know when you're hiring for like an important job and, you send in a resume and you get the resume and there's nothing on it. There's nothing on it. It's like applying for a job with no resume. And that's exactly what Kamala Harris is doing. She hasn't earned anyone's vote. Okay, she has no experience outside of being a terrible VP and an unpopular one at that. Last time she ran for president, she got a total of 0 delegates. And this is the woman who the media is pushing forward. Now, if you look at her campaign website, and I have all this pulled up because I don't want to miss any points, okay, in this video. I want to make sure I get across everything in this video. So I'm going to be referring to my notes, and I have some sources here, and I have her article pulled up. Not her article, but I have her website. We're going to go through this together because this is insane. But it's like she's applying for the President of the United States job with nothing to show for it. I'm not kidding. I mean, I went to her website expecting to find detailed plans and policies and, the kind of stuff, that you would want to know beforehand when you're voting for someone, when you want to donate to someone. But when it comes to actual policies, there's nothing. Nada. Okay, crickets. Let me give you a few examples. I mean, you think there'd be like a clear stance on like healthcare, right? The economy? Nope. Nothing. Foreign policy? Nope. Immigration? Forget about it. Okay, nothing on here. Okay, and it's like playing a game of Where's Waldo, except now the game is where's Kamala Harris's policies. We're flying blind. We're in the air, just flying around, and we don't know where we're going. And that's what I feel like. Kamala Harris is at. Now, why does this matter? Of course, clear policies when it comes to Donald Trump is all over his page. Agenda 47. If you go through his website, you find a clear, detailed everything that he wants to accomplish and why. It's really good. Whereas Kamala is just vague and there's nothing. And what I'm saying, it's how are we supposed to make informed decisions if we don't know what she if you don't know what she supports. I don't know if you guys seen the musical Hamilton, but Hamilton was mad at Aaron Burr because Aaron Burr just he kind of went with the flow. He didn't have any clear policies. He was the moderate, and that's what Kamala Harris trying to appear as. But we're about to expose that in a second. But here's the kicker. I mean, I don't think it's laziness on Kamala's part. I think this is deliberate. I think this is on purpose. And this is something that Kamala's doing to appear as a moderate candidate. And also the media is helping her out with it. You see, by keeping things vague, Kamala can kind of just decide whatever she wants. One day that she can support defunding the police. One day she doesn't have to. One day she can get behind Palestine. One day she can stand behind Israel. All these important issues that people care about, immigration, foreign policy, economy, she can just kind of mow around all she wants. And so this allows her to shift her policies and shift her compromises on stances and stuff like that, like a chameleon. And that's why I like to call her Kamala the chameleon. You know what I'm saying? It's just perfect. It's perfect. But here's another thing too. When you go to the website, it's not completely empty. There are some stuff on there. You know what I'm saying? But what do you find? Well, they made sure to include the really important stuff like how you can donate to her campaign or volunteer. But as far as anything else, it's a whole lot of nothing. But sorry. I mean, if you go to I'm probably showing the website right now. There's nothing. Okay, sorry, but this woman, the election is in 3 months, like not even like 90 days, and she ain't got no policies. But you know, another thing about Kamala and this whole dodge is how she's not talking to the media. You know, Kamala Harris is running a campaign that's being run in a basement. I think I've heard that talking point so much, but it's so good. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, this isn't just some silly game. Like, this is about the future of our country. And we're talking about someone who wants to be the leader of the free world. The leader of the free world, and you can't even stand in front of any press, who, by the way, mostly are on your side, to answer any questions, right? You can't do any interviews. You can't do nothing like that. Yeah, J.D. Vance and Donald Trump and even other Republicans like Tom Cotton is out here doing interviews on CNN and they're walking to the lion's den. But yet Kamala Harris isn't. So let's break it down. Since becoming the presumptive Democratic nominee, well, Kamala Harris hasn't done anything. She hasn't taken any questions from reporters. Not a single one. It's like she's allergic to microphones or something, you know. Every time she gets around one, she just runs away. I don't know if you guys saw that video, but she literally was about to get on her plane, and then she was about to answer some questions. She just walked away. She's allergic. J.D. Vance, a Republican senator, called her out on this. He said, "It is shameful for Kamala Harris that she's taking a basement strategy of running from reporters instead of getting in front of them." Now I want you to imagine if that was Donald Trump. Imagine if Donald Trump was out here avoiding media questions, hiding from the media. Could you imagine that? Absolutely not. Okay, love him or hate him, and I have a lot of criticisms of Donald Trump. Y'all see my last video. But Donald Trump ain't running from no smoke. Okay, he wants all the smoke. He would be out there right now. He is out there taking on all corners. Okay, but Kamala nowhere to be found. You know, she has a playbook, and it's called How to Avoid Accountability. Like, this lady has no spine. She stands on nothing, right? And, you know, if you stand for nothing, what will you fall for? You know what I'm saying? So now something we talk about a lot on this show is biblical values, right? We are a Christian show, not a conservative show, even though we have a lot of conservative takes, but conservatives get mad at me just as much as liberals for my takes. But something we talk about on the show a lot is integrity and honesty, right? This is a very biblical, you know, concept. You know, Jesus tells you not to lie. He says to be truthful, to love your neighbor, to have integrity, all these things. Fruits of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, kindness, self-control, all these things, right? However, when someone lacks integrity, everything else falls apart. And there's a Bible verse I want to quote. Proverbs 28:18 tells us, "Whoever walks in integrity will be delivered, but he who is crooked in his ways will suddenly fall." So leadership isn't just about making decisions according to the Bible. It's about having integrity, okay? It's about standing on business. It's about being who you are in private while also being who you are in public, right? There's no difference between the two. And you should be accountable for those decisions. And, you know, as a politician, she should be facing tough answers and answering straight questions and giving straight answers. You know, that's exactly what she should be doing, but she's not. And it's a whole parade of red flags. But here's where it really gets interesting. The media dodge is not just about avoiding tough questions. Like, I don't think that that's really just the main thing. I think it goes back to that chameleon thing that we were talking about earlier. If she doesn't say anything to the media, she can pretend and be whoever she wants to be, okay? That's the main thing. If she has nothing that she said on record to the media in 2024 as the presumptive Democratic nominee, then no one can pin her on anything. And that's exactly what I'm afraid of with this Donald Trump debate with her. How is Donald Trump going to debate with her when she has no policies to debate? You know, it's just going to be personal attacks, blah, 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 blah. Now, obviously, we can bring up Kamala Harris's resume when it comes to vice presidency or her senator or her being an attorney general, but and those are all terrible. Like, good job. Like, we should totally focus on that. But Kamala Harris not having any policies can just say, well, I changed my mind. And she can just stand on whatever's popular at the time. And that's the thing. She does not have to commit to any specific position. She can be all things to all people because she's not really saying anything. I'll give her that. It's a pretty clever trick, you know, but it's not leadership. It's not what America needs. It's not what this world needs. We need strong leaders who stand up and stand on business and can be counted on, right? To be principled, you know? And then another thing that she did that I think that was actually a mistake by her, and I think is actually pretty good for the Trump campaign and just really anybody in this political world, is that she really showed her hand, not only with conservatives but with liberals, by her VP pick. So she picked Tim Waltz, the governor of Minnesota. Picking your vice president says a lot about you. You know what I'm saying? It's like picking your best friend. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if you guys ever heard this analogy, but the 5 people that surround you the most, you're the average of those 5 people. Well, Kamala Harris choosing Tim Waltz really shows us who she really is. She's not a moderate. Okay, she is a progressive far leftist, because Tim Waltz is as far as left gets. Okay, he is all the way left field. Now you might be thinking, who is that? I mean, let me fill you in. Well, I think during the George Floyd riots, I mean, he was literally out here not saying a word. They were literally wondering, where's the governor, right? When they were burning down his whole state, really, he was nowhere to be found. When Minneapolis was burning, when businesses were being destroyed, when people were scared in their homes, wondering where Tim Waltz is, he sat on his hands. I don't believe that he called the National Guard fast enough and stuff like that. He just did not take any control of his city, and he kind of just twiddled his little thumbs. You know what I'm saying? But you would think Kamala Harris would have some common sense and not choose this guy, but whatever. He also has a lot of bad stuff on his resume as well. He is also a very well-known stolen valor kind of guy. I don't know if you've seen everything, but he basically quit before Iraq. He served in the military for over a decade, and but as soon as things got real, he decided to quit, and then he quote-unquote misspoke, according to the media, about his actual experience in the military, which is disgraceful. I mean, my father was in the Marines. I know a lot of you veterans are watching this. How disgraceful is it for someone to lie about their service? That's sick. Whereas, J.D. Vance served, and he hasn't lied about it, and it's just a shame. But Kamala picking this guy tells us exactly what we need to see. She's not in the middle. She's all the way on the left. Waltz is also not just some kind of Democrat who supports BLM. He's also in the far left wing of the party. He supports letting minors get sex change operations under 18. Very, very disgusting. He supported having tampons in boys' restrooms. That's disgusting. He wants Minnesota to be a sanctuary state for illegal immigrants. I mean, this guy is all the way to left. This is not moderate stuff. I mean, this is as progressive as it gets. He supports abortion up until 9 months for any reason. I mean, he's just overall terrible, terrible progressive. And so if you guys want to know where Kamala stands, that's probably where she does. So why would Kamala Harris pick someone like this? What's the strategy here? Well, I believe it was to appease the far left progressives. Let me tell you what was happening with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. They were actually losing a lot of their left-wing party with the Palestine stuff. We actually covered it video a long time ago, like months ago, where Joe Biden was losing in that area, and we were looking at all the Palestine protests and stuff that was going on, and we were kind of just laughing at the whole thing. But that far left sect will hold Joe Biden accountable. And actually, we just saw a couple of days ago, Kamala Harris had Palestine protesters at her rally, okay? And that's just hilarious. So anyway, this pick was to appease them. J.D. Vance hit the nail on the head. He said this is the most progressive ticket in history. You know what? He's right. He's right. Kamala and Waltz together represent a far left agenda that could really mess things up for this country. Now, you know who she didn't pick? I think this is really important. Every one of my friends and everyone that I know said that this would have been the best pick. Josh Shapiro. He's the governor of Pennsylvania. Shapiro is more of a moderate, more than Tim Waltz. He would have appealed to those swing states in those swing states in the election, such as Pennsylvania, who he's the governor of. But no, Harris is not interested in that. She went with Waltz instead. She wants to appease the far left progressives. And so, anyway, she's not moderate. She's pushing a radical agenda, and her choice of Waltz proves it. Now, this is what I want to wrap up with. We covered a lot of ground here. We've seen the empty website and all this stuff, her media vanishing act, her VP pick. So what do we do about it? Well, first of all, I don't want you guys to just swallow what the media feeds you. Do your own digging. They're trying to pretend that she's dominating this race, that she has all this momentum, which she does actually. But I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, but they're literally AI photoshopping their rallies. Her rallies aren't that big. they're pretending that her rallies are just her rallies, but they're really concerts. And she's also been caught paying people to come. She's also been emailing and DMing streamers like on Twitch and rappers and stuff like that. It's disgusting, so but you guys should really just inform people. Look beyond the headlines. Talk to your neighbors, your church group, your bowling team, your football team, your ballerina friends. I don't know, whoever, you know what I'm saying? And get involved with your local elections as well. That's where the real change starts. Hold your leaders accountable, all that stuff. We need leaders with integrity, and they need to be principled. Okay, I don't really care about the R next to the name. I care about who that name is. Okay, that's the most important thing. We need to stop focusing on the R and the D, and we need to focus on who and what do they believe. That's what America was built on. That's what our faith teaches us, to vote principled. Okay, so let's stand up for those values. Other than that, that's all I have for you guys. Obviously, don't vote for Kamala Harris if that's not very clear, unless you really want this country to fail. Which, by the way, just imagine Kamala Harris going overseas, advocating for us on a foreign policy thing. She's not winning, bro. We're going to lose all of our great deals, okay? Like, you really think they're going to be scared of us? Nah, bro. Nah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this. Yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, take it easy. God bless.